Welcome. This is the Senior Safety Advice Podcast, and we are so glad that you've made it to a calmer corner of your day. Here, we focus on real solutions, practical help, and the kind of encouragement we could all use a little more of. So let's get to it.
Hey there, and welcome back to the Daily Senior Safety Advice Podcast. I'm so glad you're here with me today because February, that's when this is being published, is Heart Health and Emotional Resilience Month. So on that topic, what I want to talk about today is music therapy for relaxation and heart health. My mom-in-law lived to 102, and there wasn't a day that went by, I don't believe, that she didn't listen to and dance to some kind of music. She loved having music playing. And I think that really was one of the reasons why she was able to live so long and so well. I don't have any studies on that, but it just seems to make sense to me. Music tends to reach places where words simply cannot. I mean, I've seen it happen in her, and I've seen it happen in many of my patients as I treated them for occupational therapy. I've seen tense faces soften, breathing will slow down, shoulders drop, all because a familiar song starts playing. Music doesn't argue with the body, it doesn't demand anything. It just arrives and the body responds, usually beautifully. That response can really be powerful to your mental health and your physical health. And when we talk about heart health, we often focus on numbers, right? We talk about blood pressure, we talk about heart rate, but the truth is the heart is emotional too. It reacts to stress, to fear, to loneliness, and music can help to soothe all of that. I've watched older adults who felt restless suddenly sit back and relax. I've watched caregivers who were on edge start to breathe easier. I've watched seniors with dementia who were agitated calm down when a familiar song was played. So here's why all of this matters. Relaxation protects the heart. So when music calms the nervous system, the heart doesn't have to work as hard. Your blood pressure can lower, heart rate can steady, and stress hormones can decrease. And this doesn't require any fancy equipment, just music that feels right to you. Now that's the key. Music therapy isn't about what's popular. It's about what feels comforting to the person who's listening to it, or persons. A song from younger years, a favorite hymn, soft instrumental music. I've seen people light up when they hear a song tied to a good memory. Their body remembers safety, and safety is deeply connected to heart health. Another thing that I've noticed is that music can help to regulate breathing. Slow music encourages slow breaths, and slow breathing tells the heart to relax. That rhythm matters. The heart loves rhythm. It responds to steady, predictable patterns. That's why gentle music works so well. Not loud, not jarring, just steady and flowing. I have a funny story. My sister was staying here with me, and she likes to listen to rock and roll type of music from the 50s and 60s. And I like to listen to classical, quiet, just music, no words, no drums, no guitars, just quiet, peaceful, new age kind of music, I guess you can call it. So I was playing that one day while she was staying, and I was in the office working, and she was in the living room, and all I heard her yell, "This thing is making me sleepy." So for her, it made her sleepy. But for me, it relaxes me and calms me so that I can concentrate when I'm working. So yeah, we did change it to her rock and roll kind of music, and she was happy about that. You got to do what your guests like, right? So here's something that families don't always realize. Music can reduce anxiety without medication. Believe that? I've seen people who are anxious settle down with music playing softly in the background. Not because their problems disappeared, not because, the situation changed, but because their body felt supported. And when the body calms down, the heart tends to follow. Music therapy also helps with sleep. And we all know that sleep is huge for heart health. Soft music before bed can signal the body that it's time to rest. It slows your thoughts. It can reduce racing worries. I've seen people who struggled with falling asleep drift off more easily with familiar music playing quietly. Music doesn't help me to get to sleep, but white noise does. So whatever sound it is that can help you get to sleep, then use it. Discover it and use it. That sleep rest, definitely helps a heart to recover. Another thing that music does beautifully is it reduces the feelings of loneliness. And I personally think that's one of the reasons that my mom-in-law enjoyed having music, because for the last, 15 plus years of her life, she lived alone. She was a widow. So even when someone is alone, music tends to create companionship. It fills the space. And that emotional connection lowers stress hormones. And lower stress hormones mean less strain on the heart. And my mom-in-law used to say, I just love the sound of music. It energizes me, and it feels like someone is here with me when the music is on. So that feeling really matters. Music also, like for my mom-in-law, encourages movement. A little foot tapping, a sway in the chair, a soft stretch. That kind of movement improves circulation, and circulation helps to support heart health. I'm not talking about exercise, doing aerobics to music. I'm talking about just movement. And movement paired with joy is especially powerful. It was beautiful to see my mom-in-law dance around the living room or the kitchen to her music. Another thing I love about music therapy is how personal it is. There's no right playlist. There's no wrong genre. If it makes you feel calm, if it makes you smile, if it brings you a sense of peace, then it's doing its job. You can relax to classical music, to country music, to love songs, to rock and roll from the 50s, whatever. I've seen it all. The heart doesn't judge taste. It responds to comfort. Now here's something important. Music therapy works best when it's intentional. Not blasting the TV in the background, but choosing music on purpose. Sitting with it. Letting it wash over you. Even 10 minutes of sitting down listening to music can make a difference. And those small moments really add up. Caregivers can use this too. Music can create calmer caregiving routines. Easier mornings, more peaceful evenings. I've seen caregiving moments feel less tense when music is playing softly in the background. That calm can protect everyone's heart. And another benefit that you may not know about music therapy is memory support. Music can unlock memories even when other things fade. And those moments of recognition bring joy. Joy releases calming chemicals in the body. And again, that supports heart health. Music therapy isn't about fixing anything. It's about supporting the body, giving the heart a break. And that break matters. So if your stress has been high, if your heart is feeling tired, if life just feels loud, try music therapy. One song, one quiet moment. Let it slow you down. You don't need to do anything else. Just listen. Your heart will do the rest. You can use Amazon's Alexa to play music. You can use your smartphone and have podcasts play music. or listen to the radio. Whatever it is, find some source of music for yourself so that you can incorporate it as a daily routine. Well, that's all I have for you today. Thanks again for listening, for being here with me. If today's episode gave you some useful insights or, maybe a new idea or two, then share it with someone who you think might find it helpful as well. You can discover even more expert tips and helpful guides for seniors and caregivers at seniorsafetyadvice.com. And if you're searching for an aging in place specialist or senior services, then visit our website at aginginplacedirectory.com. And don't forget, come back tomorrow for even more useful tips, insights, and ideas right here on the Senior Safety Advice Podcast. And hey, if you haven't yet subscribed to our YouTube channel or the podcast yet, then please go ahead and do that right now. It really helps us to reach more people who could use this kind of support and information. So until next time, take care of yourself and the ones that you love.
This podcast is part of our mission to help older adults live safely and independently. If you'd like to take the next step, visit aginginplacedirectory.com, where you'll find specialists, helpful resources, and inspiration to make every home your place to thrive.